Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your girl HNP here and I'm the host to this channel. I want to welcome all those of you that are new to this channel. Thank you for coming, and do not forget to subscribe at the end of this video, and do not also forget to click the notification bell once you subscribe. Tonight we are going to be talking about something that is happening all over the world, in our families especially, and that is how we find it quite hard at times to talk about it. But I'm going to ask you a question tonight, and this question does not require you to answer. I don't require an answer from you specifically, but I just want you to sit down and reflect on yourselves, reflect on this question, internalize it, and get the answer. Once you have the answer, you will know exactly how to run your homes, especially because this particular question directly affects how we relate in our homes, and that is, how do we relate with our helpers? Most of us call them maids. How do we relate with them? How do they relate with us? Or is it about their personality and character? A lot of people over the years have done the blame game, that these maids are bad, these maids are rude, these maids are selfish, these maids are this, these maids are that. Yes, a lot of people have also made blame games that these maids intentionally kidnap their children. A lot of people have come up with a lot of things. Yes, we have seen all over the media, all over news, a lot of things happening around the globe on how these maids are being treated and how they treat our children in our absentia. Some of them have beaten up our children, others have kidnapped our children. What do you guys think? Is it about how we treat them? Is it about how we relate with them? Is it about how they relate with us? Or is it about them as people, individuals? Is it about their personality or character? What do you guys think? This is a question that I'm posing to all of us around the world, because it is good for us to know the people we deal with. It is also good for us not to do the blame game. It is good for us to analyze ourselves, the people we relate with, and how we relate with them. This is the question that I want to pose to all of us. I do not need this answer. The answer goes back to you and how you analyze it. The reason as to why I have specifically wanted to talk about this question is because of the very many news that I have had all over media, all over news, of how maids have stolen. A maid has stolen a child, a maid has beaten up a child, but there is nowhere where they show you that the bosses have beaten up the maids, because ideally the cameras in your homes probably do not show how you relate with them. So what do you guys think? Do you think these people that we bring into our homes to help us are just bad-mannered? In our home, we do not call them maids. No, we do not call them maids. We actually call them our helpers. We call them our aunties. We respect them in our home. I'm talking about me as a person. We do not call them our maids. We do not call them our house girls. No, we do not call them such names. We call them our helpers, or we call them our children's nannies. We find a way to beautify how we call them. And in our home, we relate with them like people of the home. They become a part of us and we become a part of them, and we treat them equally like how we treat our children in our home. I don't know how you treat these maids, but recently I visited a home. I won't mention the name, and everyone seemed so excited to see me. The welcome was so fabulous. Everyone was excited. Oh, Patricia has come, Patricia has come. And I was equally excited because of the warm welcome that I received. But guess what? Lunch was served. The dining was set. And guess what? Everyone sat on the dining. We all were invited to have lunch, but the person who prepared the lunch was omitted. No, she'll eat her food from when we finish. What do you think about this kind of treatment? That someone prepares this very beautiful meal that you are going to have, and she's the last to eat this same meal. Do you guys think it's fair? That is a question that I'm asking all of you. Do you guys think it's fair that one person has prepared this meal that you are all going to eat, but they are the last to eat? Meaning if the meal is over, they don't get to eat. Recently, I went for lunch with a group of friends in a restaurant, and we got this family that also walked in with their baby to have lunch. Apparently, as they made their order for lunch, the maid was omitted. They had their lunch while the maid ran around with the children. Do you think it is fair? What do you think these people think about you? Do we always ask ourselves about how they think about the way we treat them? Or it doesn't matter? Let us also ask ourselves that before we start looking at how bad they are, how do you treat them? How do you relate with them? I know there are people, not everyone, there are people who treat these nannies. I don't like the word maids because it is demeaning to me. Though a lot of people use it, I personally don't like it. I prefer calling them nannies, or I call them my auntie. Imagine, how do you treat this person when they walk into your homes? How do you treat them? Do you give them that warm reception? Or you do not care about them because you pay them? I have known of people who say, after all, I pay her. What is her work here? She's supposed to do this, she's supposed to do that, she's supposed to do the other. Even when they are sick, we do not care because we think we pay them. And then we forget that actually these people are equally human. How do you treat your nanny at home? If you treat her like a monster, do you expect her to give the same to your own children? Do you think she should return the same favor? Or do you think she'll do exactly as you do to her? What do you guys think? Tell me what you think about this. Because sometimes we lose it and actually think these people are so bad. And then at the end of the day, it turns out that we are equally bad to them. What do you think? Tell me what you think on the description box below. Tell me what you people think. Is it about how we relate with them? Yes, I know there are people who are ill-mannered, who just have these bad manners. They are poorly brought up. They don't have ethics. They do not have good codes of conduct. They would do anything. But even when they are so bad, the way you relate with them also matters. There are those that are bad and do not show any signs of change. And you really notice the way they relate with you, the way they talk, they are bad. Do not keep such people in your homes. If you have tried your level best to make them good people and they cannot change, please save yourselves from the dangers they will do to your homes and your children and your family by asking them to leave. But once they are responsible, you really see the element of wanting to change in them. Give them a chance in life. Teach them the things that you want them to know. Teach them how to run your home in your absence. And these people will always be good people. Why am I saying that? About 4 years ago, I had my closest neighbor, and my neighbor asked her maid out of her house at about 1 a.m. in the night. To me, this was very, very, very wrong. Even if you are so tired of this person, you wait until the morning and then they can go. Imagine, by sending them out of your home at that wee hour of the night, it means you do not care about them. So do you expect them to care about you? This person asked their maid out of their homes at about 1 a.m. And fortunate for us, we were able to accommodate her. We accommodated her in our home until the next morning. And you can imagine, we looked at it like, oh, what if anything happened to this person? Our neighbor would be in a very, very big problem. But she didn't look at it at that time when she asked her out of her home. Do we all do this? Do we ask these people out of our homes when we are tired of them at the wee hours of the night? Do you pay them promptly? I have known of someone who says, but I pay her. I feed her, I accommodate her. I'll pay her when I want to pay her. Really? Is it really fair? Yes, I know you don't have formal contracts. Some of you do not have formal contracts with these people, but the fact that they come to work for you means they expect a pay at the end of the month. But if you think you are doing them a favor to pay them, I think it's a very, very wrong thing at the end of the day. What do you think these people should do? I've also known of families that do not talk. They instead beat. You beat up the maid because they have failed to understand what you want from them. You beat them up because they are not doing the things you want them to do. And some of you cause harm on them. Do you think that one turn deserves another? Do you think the way you treat them should equally be the way they treat your children? I personally don't think so. The children are our children are very innocent souls and do not deserve a very harsh and cruel treatment from our nannies, our aunties. They do not. And the people who do this to our children are also do it the wrong way. You instead carry the grudge on someone's child. But I want to encourage all of us tonight that most people do this job not because they want. Circumstances of life have pushed people to do the things they do not want to do. Some it's because they are orphaned, others it's because they do not have money to continue with their education, others it's because they've struggled up throughout their life, others it's because they do not even have where to sleep. And then they find themselves in such a situation. So guys, let us look at how we relate with these people. Let us learn to appreciate them in our lives. I don't want to be biased. I don't want to look at this topic on a one-sided ground. Yes, I know there are people that come into our lives and are very, very ill-mannered. But again, it is our responsibility to train them and teach them the things that we need them to do. Some of you bring helpers in your homes and you don't give them proper instructions from day one. You bring them and you assume they know everything in your home. And that marks the beginning of trouble because you have not oriented this person that this is how this house runs, this is how things are supposed to be done, or this is how it should be. You expect them to think for you which is very, very wrong. You guys, tell me what you think about the very many allegations that are coming up because of maids beating up children, maids doing this, maids doing that. Is it about the way we relate with them? Is it about how they relate with us? Is it their manners as individuals? Is it their character? What do you guys think? Me, I personally think it is a two-way. One, the way we relate with them, and two, the way they relate with us. Some are hostile. I recently had a maid that came into my home, and from the word go, I saw hostility in the way she does things, in the way she relates. For sure, I didn't even give her time to take a day or two. I just asked her out. I asked her out not because I could not train or amend her, but because her character as a person was for someone that you can't fix. If her parents or wherever she's coming from have failed to fix her, then who am I to fix her? You know, there are people like that, of course. Their character, their personality, you can't fix, you can't, you just let them go to avoid trouble. So let us ask ourselves these questions tonight. How do we relate with our mates or nannies or aunties? Because at the end of the day, they are the ones who do the cooking. They are the ones who take care of our children. They are the ones who take care of the entire family while we go out to look for the monies, while we go out to struggle, to look for food here and there. They are the ones who stand in the gap. How do we relate with them? Do you think it is about how we relate with them, how they relate with us, or it is about their personality? Tell me what you think in the comment box below. And I hope we internalize and get an in-depth answer to these questions of how best to handle the people that come into our homes. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel, and I hope you guys have picked something out of this question. It is a question that does not require you giving me an answer. It is a question that requires you to internalize and get an answer as individuals. Thank you so much. Continue coming. Do not forget to subscribe if you're new. Do not forget to click the notification bell such that you are notified for every time I post my new videos. Thank you so much. Continue keeping safe and observing the SOPs that are in place. Bye-bye.